Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. XRP was the best performing cryptocurrency on the planet in 2017, rising 36,000%. And my friends, I personally believe that history is going to repeat itself. Now, with each cycle that passes, given that there's more money in each cryptocurrency and you have a higher low than the cycle before that, I'm not predicting necessarily that you're going to see the exact same percentage increase for the calendar year for this market cycle, but it depends on where things fall, as I will explain within this video. Timelines matter, and it determines how people actually crunch these numbers. But I got to tell you, like, the money, it still keeps pouring in. Like, to anybody that thinks we're in a bear market right now because of what's been happening since May 19th in terms of price action, I say, okay, diversity of thought, all that, all well and good. I think you're wrong. And that's fine. You think I'm wrong. That's fine. We can agree to respectfully disagree. But if history is any indicator, the biggest fireworks that are going to happen this market cycle are yet to come. And there's still institutional money entering the space now. And I will share with you some specifics on that. So this party is not over yet, but the bubble's inflating. I will happily acknowledge that because, frankly, that's why I came to the party. It's for the bubble. I want all sorts of big bubbles for every individual cryptocurrency. Bubbles all over the damn place. It's a bubble party, whatever the hell that is. It sounds like a good time. I want to be clear, though. I don't have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who makes YouTube videos just as a fun hobby. That's all that's going on, though. Here's a tweet that was shared by XRP community member Frecky, and he tagged me along with some others, and it's on your screen now, and I thought I'd share this with you. This comes from Anthony Pompliano, who is perhaps, if not the most, then one of the most well-known Bitcoin maximalists on the entire planet. And he shared this tweet on January 2nd of 2018, 3.5 years ago. He wrote the following: 2017 best performing crypto assets. And there's 10 on this list. Number 1, Ripple, 36,000%. Now, I already know it's a little like, cringe kind of, because he should have written XRP. I got to tell you, people still conflate the two even in 2021, which really grinds my gears, damn it. But it was really bad in 2017. People legitimately didn't know the difference. Now, when it's conflated, a lot of the time it's done intentionally by Bitcoin maximalists just to try and piss off XRP holders, basically. That's how it seems to me, anyway. So you don't see it as much, but yeah. So that's what he cited there. Ripple, 36,000%. He means XRP. Okay. But he cites at the bottom here, Bitcoin isn't even in the top 10. Now, that's fascinating because Bitcoin maximalist Anthony Pompliano, he's only become even more Bitcoin maxi-ish. So I don't think he'd ever make a list like this ever again because it wouldn't put Bitcoin at the top, because Bitcoin wasn't at the top. It wasn't the best performer, even though it had a tremendous run, leading the market in 2017, starting the year at around $1,000, running up to about $20,000. So consider this, though, and this is why I don't know what in terms of, will history repeat itself in such a way that XRP has a year where the percentage rise is bigger than that for this market cycle? Maybe, but let me explain why. Because again, as I already articulated, from one cycle to the next, the amount of money that flows in, there's already a bunch of money in there. So to get something to double or triple, quadruple, it's harder to do that. So in order to get these bigger percentage gains, you're going to get smaller percentage gains with every subsequent market cycle, and that's been proven to this point. But still, there's tremendous opportunity. So that's not some huge negative. Don't take me wrong here. But think about this. So that 36,000% number, that was at the end of 2017, but XRP actually didn't hit its all-time high until January 4th, 2018. So even before it hit its all-time high, it was already up 36,000% from the year. Began the year around half a penny. So from half a penny up to whatever it got to. Now its all-time high for the cycle, which happened after 2017, again, it was January 4th, that was $3.92 according to Live Coin Watch. And so had that all occurred before the stroke of midnight on December 31st, I think there's 31 days in December, right? Not 30. I think it's 31. If had it happened before the end of 2017, regardless, had all that price action happened just several days sooner, then instead of seeing that 36,000% number, you would have seen a number that was over 78,000%. Because it started, I think I even calculated here. No, it's not the one. Did I? Here, I'll just punch in it. So let's just say 0.005. So here, this is what's on the screen right now. You don't have to look if you're just listening right now, but I pulled up a percentage increase calculator, and so I'm just putting in the value. Started at half a penny, and let's just say it ended at $3.92. That is what Live CoinWatch has anyway. And so there you go, 78,300% increase. So that's what it would have shown as. So because of where the dates fell, it actually, for 2017 anyway, shows as 36,000. So if you want to talk about XRP potentially being the best performing cryptocurrency asset of a calendar year, it could happen. Well, it depends on what you're talking about, like what price started and when, because if you look at like the bottom of the market cycle for XRP, it got down to 11 cents last year, right? And then so that's why I calculate here that what's on your screen here is like, I'm sure many of you are familiar with the predictions of XRP hitting at least $10. So many analysts I follow think that's pretty much the bare minimum. For instance, even the blockchain backer, he says 10 to 13 bucks. Credible Crypto, Leb Crypto, they all said on the very low end, maybe somewhere around there, but they more realistically think it's going to be a little more like 20 to 30 bucks. And DIY Investing says the same. There are a number of others, right? But, if we just consider that historically, like what has happened, like what happened last market cycle? Well, Bitcoin got up to about $380 billion in terms of market cap, and Ethereum got to half that. And I've mentioned this recently too, so I'll try and be brief for those of you that heard this. I don't want to keep repeating the same stuff over necessarily. But anyway, Ethereum was about half that when it got to its peak for the market cycle at about $180 billion. And XRP did about the same, also somewhere in the neighborhood of $180 billion. And so the tops for all three of those coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, they happened at different times last market cycle, even though they move in tandem. It's just not down to the second, the minute, the day, so on and so forth. I'm expecting that to happen again. Well, Ethereum, Ethereum already ran up to 4,400 bucks roughly, and over $500 million in terms of market cap. So if XRP just hits that, you're already looking at like what, a $10 or $11 XRP, which would be a 9,900% increase. But it could go much higher. Like what if it does go 30 bucks? I mean, it's a simple math here. 27,172% increase there. So like these numbers are attainable even in terms of percentage, depending on how high does it go? Yes, but is it going to be in one calendar year when you compare the top to the bottom? So, that low of 11 cents though, that was last calendar year. And I can't remember the exact low. I'd have to pull it up here. But XRP, it was much lower towards the end of 2000. Here, we just do year to date, 2020. So yeah, even there, man, that is still pretty low. At the beginning of the year, it's worth 23 cents. So by the time this is all said and done, it could be worth substantially more. So I won't be surprised in the least to see history repeat itself in that sense. But even if we don't see those types of percentage gains, in terms of dollar gains, I still believe it's going to melt faces personally. I really, there's going to be disgusting face goo all over the pavement. That is what happened in 2017. In fact, for those of you not in crypto, you may have just been walking around and you're like, what are all these little vomit puddles doing all over the pavement in the city in which I live? And if you're not in crypto, you didn't know the answer, but the answer was it's a bunch of people's that they had faces previously, but then their faces were melted, resulting in this disgusting goo stuff all over the pavement. And it did look like little vomit piles. It did look like that. And I don't know who had to clean that, but it was pretty gross. You couldn't pay me to do that. But that's what's going to happen again. There's going to be disgusting little vomit-looking puddles all over the place. So even if the percentage gains aren't there, yeah, you're going to see it in terms of dollar. I firmly believe that. I'm not going to make a price prediction because I don't pretend to know it. I'm not that bold. But I would be surprised if you didn't at least get into the realm of those lower price predictions of at least $10, just looking at what's already happened. Now, that said, to me it gets even more exciting though, because this market cycle is not complete. I'm kind of sold on this idea that so many chart analysts are putting out there, the ones that I follow anyway, that there's going to be at least one more big leg up in terms of price action for Bitcoin. So even if you are just talking 70 to 80,000, I mean, well, it's a lot higher than where it is now. But what if it does go to 100,000? There are all sorts of analysts that I follow that are respectable that do think that you're going to get closer to that range, maybe a bit higher. Well, if that happens, think about how much money is going to ultimately pump into the altcoins, because money starts at the top with Bitcoin, but then it cycles through to other coins. And what you're going to see happen this market cycle is the same as last, I believe, which is every cryptocurrency on the planet is going to pop off at some point. That's what I'm expecting to happen. Because money starts at the top with Bitcoin, and then people take profits, and then it splinters off from there to other cryptocurrencies, which is one of the reasons that I don't think you're going to see Bitcoin supplanted in terms of being number one in market cap this cycle, because frankly, until utility matters, I don't think there's a prayer of that happening. I don't even think, it's not even on my radar, not going to happen. But the coins that are less liquid, like XRP, the multiplier effect is going to be so much greater than what you saw with Bitcoin. I believe it'll prove to be a substantially better investment. We'll see. So even if it doesn't for a calendar year end up proving to be the best, or even if it isn't for a market cycle, okay, but it's going to be among the best, I would think. And so it happens to be my largest holding, and we'll see how this all pans out. But the money does keep pouring in. So look at this headline from Cointelegraph: $157 billion Victory Capital plans to enter crypto market. Like, this is new. Like, they're still coming in, my friends. And there's not that much Bitcoin. And look, I'm pro Bitcoin. Like, I'm most excited about XRP. It's my largest holding, fine. But I'm pro Bitcoin. I hold Bitcoin. And I think it's going to be here for the indefinite future, if not forever, certainly. I don't see it going away, certainly, anytime soon. I'd prefer for it to stick around forever, personally. I'm not convinced 100% that it will, but I think there's a very good chance it could, as for reasons I've already articulated on this channel, not going to talk about in this video. But there's not much Bitcoin available on the market. If you consider that there's a max supply of Bitcoin of 21 million, and you've got about 18.5 million already mined, and then somewhere in the neighborhood of like 5 million that's lost forever, because, well, think about it, in the early mining days, what's this magic internet money? People didn't think it would ever be anything, so they mined it, and then hard drives failed, stuff like that, and then people lost their private keys. Well, that Bitcoin's gone forever. And so you can estimate how much of that Bitcoin's gone forever by addresses that just haven't moved for like a decade, right? Or more. Because realistically, you'd think anybody that still has control of those keys, they would have done something with it by now, do you not think? At least something. And so you can kind of figure out, okay, it looks like these accounts are pretty much lost forever. So then you consider that. And then you consider how much Bitcoin is already held by institutions and publicly traded companies, so on and so forth, long-term hodlers. And what you find out is that there's only a few million Bitcoin on the planet that are currently for sale. Like, that's it. Well, think about it. Did it sink in how big of a deal that is? Because Bitcoin, with there only being that little bit left, already hit $65,000. There is not that much Bitcoin. And you have institutions still coming in, right? And this is not going to, it's not going to stop. I mean, I'll tell you what, you just wait. You wait till this Bitcoin bubble finishes inflating and then pops and then crashes 70, 80, 90+%, whatever it drops to. And it will happen, I firmly believe. And a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money because they don't know what the hell they're doing, frankly. But what's going to happen at the bottom is institutions that miss the boat here because they feel like, okay, well, and they understand market cycles. They're like, well, it's looking pretty expensive relative to other assets right now. They're going to wait. And then when the bubble pops, they're going to jump in. Which, by the way, a lot of the institutions that did jump in and own Bitcoin now, they waited until the bear market. And then, sure, as things started to heat up, more entities took notice. Sure, I understand that as well. But you're going to see that again. It's not going to stop. The fact that it ran this high should be incredible. Like you should see my eyes right now. There's like the cartoons have the dollar symbols in my eyeballs. That's what I'm seeing right now when as I'm talking about it. Like, that's what I look like. And so just consider what this means for the whole space, though. So the money starts at the top, but the multiplier effect is greater, much greater, for the coins that have less liquidity. And to simply explain that, it's easy to understand if you just think about how much money does it take to flowing into Bitcoin to get it to double. because if you just look at its market cap, it's at 688 billion as I record that. To get it to double, you could think, okay, a lot more has to flow in. But if you look at XRP, which has a $41 billion market cap, think about how much money has to flow into XRP to get it just to double. And so in terms of percentage increases, where the real opportunity is, it's in the altcoins, especially at this point in the market cycle. My gosh. Yay, Bitcoin, I'm all for it, I hold it, but the real opportunity is for these other coins, and so they're going to substantially outperform Bitcoin, XRP included, this market cycle. XRP is going to make Bitcoin a little bitch. Like, that is what's going to happen. It's well, pretty much every other coin on the planet is too, but that's not because there's something wrong with Bitcoin, it's because there's already a ton of money in Bitcoin. That's all it is. But look at this. Investment firm Victory Capital Management announced it would be taking steps for its United States-based investors to get exposure to the crypto market. In a Wednesday announcement, Victory Capital said it would be the exclusive sponsor of private placement funds and other vehicles based on the NASDAQ Crypto Index, or NCI, an index developed by NASDAQ and Brazilian crypto asset manager Hashdex. The firm said it plans to launch a private fund for accredited investors tracking the NCI and private funds that will track the NASDAQ Bitcoin Reference Price Index and the NASDAQ Ethereum Price Index. And here's a quote now. Cryptocurrency is a viable asset class that can be part of a well-diversified portfolio. End quote. And that came from Manik Dillon, president of Victory Shares. That's Victory Capital's ETF provider. By investing in a portfolio designed to track the NCI, investors can seek returns that align with the cryptocurrency market in a diversified manner, gaining exposure to multiple digital assets as this market continues to evolve and mature. And by the way, they have again $157 billion in assets under management. This is not some fly-by-night company. This is just the latest one that hit the headlines that I happen to have noticed. But it's going to continue to come. And you're just, at this point, like, all of these institutions, they're fighting for the scraps of the remaining Bitcoin. That's pretty much it. That's what's happening right here. And by the way, and I can talk about this more in a separate video, XRP is very scarce as well, because it ran up to almost $4, right, last market cycle. And before it started on its run, there were about 700,000 XRP accounts. And by the time it topped, there were closer to and it took about 2.5 weeks to get there. There were more like a little shy of 1 million XRP accounts, so about 300,000 increase. And then, of course, the bubble popped and things flattened out for a very long time, for many years. But consider now there are over 3 million XRP accounts. There are way more people holding XRP today. Way more people. And so in terms of the potential price action, we ain't seen nothing yet as far as I'm concerned. There's way more happening right now. And you just wait, because once that spark ignites and XRP does take off, it's going to be the same thing you saw happen with Dogecoin. That's what I think. You remember how it rocketed up to 73 cents? Well, that's what happens when people have fear of missing out. FOMO. That's exactly what happens. And it doesn't matter what the cryptocurrency is. People won't know anything about it, how it works, it's any of its utility, and it's not going to matter to them. They just know it's a thing that's going up really fast, and they want a piece of it, and human greed kicks in. And we're here before that happened. You know, right now, even with XRP sitting around where it is, at 89 cents as I record this, you know, if you're talking about, if it really does, and it's an if, but if it does run, you know, $10 to $30, something more, that's an incredible return from this particular price point. And so I'm just saying, you let me know what you think, but I think that we're seriously going to have disgusting face goo all over the place again, and somebody else is going to have to mop that up, because Moon Lambo ain't touching it. But I'll wrap up there. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.